Alright, I want to talk about Runestones. Obviously, the most important runestone is the fourth one, and I'm going to discuss what I've been using that my fourth runestones for in the last, couple of months, and what I plan on using in the future. So first, let me show you guys my main attack generals and mostly the assistant generals. So I don't have the fourth specialty done on a few of them. So like my ranged main attack general is Nahai. I haven't finished his fourth specialty, and I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. They just come out with these generals. You'll end up replacing your main or your assistant general like for one of your troop types, like once every what, 3 or 4 months? Like it takes a significant amount of time to get that fourth general and replace it. Now, the thing about the specialties is one, they don't help you when you put them in the Senate. Two, you can copy the specialties to a general through the binding. So technically, you only need to have one general of each type with full specialties maxed out, and then whenever you replace him, you can just copy it. Now, one thing to know about that is the one that you've bound to cannot be an assistant or main for that same general he's binded from. So basically, once you replace him and are going to stick him in the Senate, you can max out that fourth. You can copy and max out that fourth specialty as long as you have one done. So if I ever replace Palas, I can bind her to somebody. If I replace Pyrrhus, I can bind Pyrrhus. Um, Polygonus, I could have bound Polygonus, but I got, I don't know if binding was out or I just didn't test it before I got Napoleon, but I should have bound Polygonus to Napoleon. And it just gives you all the runestones for free. I recently changed my wall general from Leonidas to William Marshall, but the thing about binding is the general you're going to bind from has to be 10 star. So my Leonidas is not 10 star. I'm only missing 3 copies of him, just barely over 2. Um, but yeah, so that's how I'm going to get my replacement generals, their specialties done. I need to finish up my high so I have one range general with full specialties. But let me show you what I've been putting my rune stones into. Obviously, the first 3, you're going to have a ton of the first 3. Let me show you how many of the rune stones I have. So the first one you're getting, everyone should know this that plays. You're going to have the most of. The second one, less. Now I should have more of the second one, but your second one is actually good for your a lot of your subsidy generals. So I've used a lot of those rune stones on the subsidy general. But the fourth specialty, what I've invested my fourth specialty rune stones into is the subsidy or the duty officer generals that are either the new ones or I don't plan on replacing anytime soon. So like some of them have a really good fourth specialty. Like that's a pretty good fourth specialty. Some of them their third specialty is all right, but usually it's their fourth one that's really good. Like enemy siege machine attack in range minus 25%, pretty good. Toyotomi, he's an old rally spot guy. I had increased his specialties, earlier on. Not that important. Let me show the ones that I've done. So I'm pretty much done doing the duty officers that I want to have done. Um, Enemy troop defense minus 20%. In city, enemy ranged and siege machine. His is almost as good as Trivia Hackett's. Enemy troop hit points minus 30%. Siege machine attack plus 30%. That's pretty huge. Now they still need to release a forge officer. So when the forge off duty officer comes up, I'm gonna immediately, like, Guinevere was the most recent one. Like as soon as I got her, I maxed her specialty out, right? I saved up the Runestones for that. So when they come out with this one, Clovis was really good. So he's the second to the most recent that they came out with. The one before, I assume the Forge Officer is going to be really good too. And then they'll basically be done with releasing duty officers for a while. Um, Michael's is also pretty decent. I think his third one's good as well. So now, other than the Forge Officer, the fourth specialty, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the the best subsidy generals that I have. So you can see the ones that I've done the second specialty in. They're the ones I consider to be like my good subsidy generals, and the ones I haven't is because I'm pretty sure I'll replace them, in the near future. So like the ones that you get from the tavern, I haven't invested any runestones in. But for right now, what I want to get done is, so you subsidies help you in your defense, but on your attack, like if they don't have a dragon assigned to them, usually all your troops on your first attack, all your subsidy generals are going to die. So I have two dragons on two of my subsidy generals. So those are the two generals, is Zizka and Gilgamesh. So those are the two generals that I want to get their fourth specialty done, because on subsequent attacks, like if I'm attacking, in an SVS and I want to attack repeatedly as soon as possible, I don't have time to go to my shrine and resurrect my subsidy generals. Like if I notice a person's obviously AFK for a while, I could do that, but usually that's not the case, right? So so on subsequent attacks, these two that have the dragons, they'll be alive the whole time, and I'll benefit from their specialties. And like some of these better subsidy generals, that they have really good force specialties. Which one is it that? Oh yeah, it's the second. It's kind of weird. It's the second and fourth specialties that are really good on the subsidy generals. But like this one has enemy troop or range and siege machine attack, ranged and siege machine or range troop defense and hit points. So it's -12, -8, -18, -12, -24, -16, -24, -16, and so -30, -20. So it has -30% range troop and siege machine attack, -20% range troop defense and hit points. That's really good. And then Gilgamesh is the other one I want to work on. I don't have any more dragons than that. I have four dragons, one on each of my troop type generals, and then I have two of the dragons on my subsidy generals. So it's huge, like for SVS. If you're one of the players that's been playing for a while and you have all these other dragons and you're able to, so there's 6 other dragons. So if you're able to put 6 other dragons on your subsidy general, that almost covers all your subsidy generals, or at least it's going to cover probably. It's going to keep all your good subsidy generals alive and be able to attack repeatedly in SVS war without your subsidy generals dying and losing all those debuffs. Like it's pretty massive. It's substantial. So like I'll just show one of the dragons I put on a subsidy general is this one, because this one has a debuff. It actually has quite a bit of debuff. It has debuff here, and then it also has debuff in the talent. Ground troop hit points -41%. So those are going to keep your subsidy generals alive, and I want to finish though. I'll either do, it depends when the Forge Officer comes out, but I'll either finish up those 2 subsidy generals that have the dragons, or I'll do the Forge Officer with, using the fourth runestone. And then after I have that done, several months from now, it takes a while to get those fourth runestones. After I have that done, then I'll finish finishing my ranged one of my ranged generals, and then maybe a lot of my assistant generals. I'm not done. My wall general's not done, but I'll worry that after. I'll worry about that after my sub city generals with the dragons and my duty officers are uh, are done. So yeah, that's what I'm prioritizing to use my runestones for, and yeah, I just thought I'd make a video about that. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good one.